Welcome back. Now, let's talk about animal behavior. Why do we even care to study animal behavior in the first place? For our purposes, I feel there are two ways that animal behavior has value to us: for science and for education. From a science perspective, learning about behavior gives us a better understanding of the animals themselves. We learn about those important adaptations that help the animal survive in the world. In many instances, these observations come from captive animals in zoos and aquariums. Many of these behaviors are cryptic and hard to view in wild settings. This understanding helps us improve conservation and management. Zoos can better understand how to care for animals, while wildlife managers can better understand the needs of the animals in their natural habitat. It also helps those same managers predict how specific actions they take might impact wildlife. How will they respond under different conditions or scenarios? From the general public perspective, animal behavior brings meaning to the complexities of the science. People can connect with the animals because they become familiar. If we connect with them, we can appreciate them, which makes us care about their well being. For educators, animal behavior studies provide quality science instruction. There aren't many kids out there who don't like animals. Wildlife is a hook that draws them into their learning. We can use that hook to teach them just about anything, whether it is science, language arts, social studies, math, whatever. The process of studying animal behavior is, in and of itself, a scientific process. Therefore, by allowing students to engage in behavior studies, we are modeling those science process skills, which are also important. Specifically, students develop observation and quantification skills. Even more, it allows us to take those skills on the road. We can build more robust and meaningful field trips to places like the zoo. Students don't just have to do prepackaged tours or scavenger hunts. They can carry out purposeful observations of animals. Back in the classroom, those observations can then be analyzed. But maybe field trips aren't an option for you and your students. The cool thing about animal behavior studies is that they can be done anywhere. Kids can observe birds on their school grounds. They can watch their pets at home, lizards on their backyard wall, and even ground squirrels at the park. And thanks to technology, they can even watch animals with live stream cameras from all over the world. Thanks to the internet, wolves from Minnesota, elephants from Africa, otters from Monterey Bay, and even sandhill cranes from southeastern Arizona can find a virtual home in your classroom. Animal behavior studies are fun and engaging ways to reach students anywhere. So, how do we study animal behavior? Historically, animal behavior studies consisted mainly of naturalists simply taking notes. They would record data for a period of time and then distribute that to the world. It wasn't very systematic, and it could be unreliable. Conclusions drawn from these notes were often inaccurate. Like all science disciplines, however, ethology, or the study of animal behavior, began to develop and mature. It became grounded in science processes with specific protocols for collecting and even analyzing the observational data. Ethograms are the tools that help ethologists study animal behavior. At its most basic level, an ethogram is a list of all the behaviors that have been observed. It's kind of like a catalog of potential behaviors a particular animal might exhibit. Things like preening, feeding, playing, sleeping. While very basic and lacking any significant analysis, these ethograms are still useful, especially in the earliest stages of research. Think about it. You can't analyze behaviors unless you know what behaviors there are. As we start to analyze behaviors more, it becomes necessary for more robust tools. Different species have unique behaviors. Different questions require different types of data. So ethograms have developed and evolved to address these varied needs. We don't have time to look at all of the potential ethograms that exist. Instead, we're going to focus on a few of the more common ones, the ones that will have the most usability and versatility in a classroom setting. I'm going to take a break and allow you to explore these different ethograms through an interactive web-based activity that we've created. Have fun.